What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in today for another Marvel Rivals video. I'm very excited to share this. The adjustments were finally released. We have like all of the details. I didn't think this was going to come out until, I guess probably for another few days, but hey, they're here already, so we got to talk about it. This is a really important discussion to have right now because season 3 is going to shape up, I think, to feel a little bit differently. I don't know that it's going to necessarily like look differently, but I think it's going to feel a little different. So this is going to have an effect on priority for who you're going to be playing as well as who you're going to be banning. And now I all think we know who the hot ban is going to be already because, well, this date has been out for like a day now, so maybe I'm a little bit slow to getting to this, but I don't know. I just think that this season is going to be a little bit of a throwback to how things felt in 1.5 in the beginning of season 2 as well. So we're going to hop into that. If you have not subscribed yet, please take a moment to do so. It's free to subscribe. The button is just below the video. Just take like 2 seconds right now. Scroll down just a little bit. Hit subscribe. Perfect. Thank you. All right, let's hop right into this. The notes start out with the Vanguard, so we're going to start there as well. Emma Frost is the first one. She's getting a nerf and a buff. She's getting a very small damage reduction. I don't think it's going to be that noticeable. It's just 10 damage. And then also reducing diamond form damage reduction from 30% to 25%. I think that this is a really good, I don't want to call this a nerf because it's like, it's not that much. It's only 5%. I think it's a good thing that the diamond form damage reduction is going to be a little bit less. I am really glad that they did 5% and they didn't do more than that because you don't want to make that skill invalid and that because that would just really nerf her. So I think just 5% is good. I think that's a really, really smart play there. But her ult is going to cost less energy. So we're going to see that ult happening a little bit more often. So a little bit of a trade-off, less damage on her normal attack, but then she's going to get her ult more frequently, but then she's got a little bit less survivability. I think she's still going to be very valid. I think we're going to see a lot of her still in season 3. And the thing, we talked about him last video, new ability, leaping to enemies with 25% damage reduction, and then the distance is going to be limited to 20 meters. So that's okay. The benefit to this is that he's going to be able to jump now to flyers. So it's good that they kind of like made that distance a little bit short. You don't want to make it too powerful because he can go like directly to them, but he's going to feel a lot like the Hulk now, I think. The damage reduction is going to be really cool. It's going to really help with that move. And then now his Stone Haymaker will actually be able to knock the flyers out of the air. This is great. Thing is going to get, I think he's just going to get the relevance that he needs, especially like to come back to him because he lost a lot of value in season 2.5. And I think that now we're going to be seeing him a little bit more often. He's got good damage. He's got great control, dive countering. This is a huge thing with him. Him being able to control the space all around him, take away movement capabilities. He's a great anti-dive tank. And if used correctly, he can be extremely effective, both in protecting your backline and managing the space around the objective. Now, Venom, again, this is the only valid photo that exists of him. So I'm just going to keep using it. Solid buff to get for him here, but is it enough? I don't know. He's kind of a specialist role. The way that his kit kind of plays out with his movement capabilities and just his survivability, he's pretty unique. He's pretty unique, but he's not independent, right? You really need a good team comp for him to really see his full potential. What's happening with his kit now is that slow effect on cellular corrosion when he attaches to everybody, that's going to be increased to 25%. This is good. I think they probably could have made it 30%. Not to say they didn't try it and maybe think it was too much, but I think they could have jumped that up a little bit. It's very easy to get out of it. I think we can all agree to that. It was not hard to escape Venom's ult. It was not hard to get out of the slow effect. So maybe this is enough. Maybe this is enough for him to be a little bit more valid. I don't know, but at least it's something. I don't want to say that he might be needing, a kit rework, but he needs something. He has felt a little invalid, I guess. But he's phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. And I know that he sees a lot of play in the higher ranks, and there are some people that are just absolutely, a menace with him. But we kind of stopped seeing him in the majority of like team comps that at least I'm a part of when the team up with Spidey was taken away. And I think that's just because that team up was just so busted that people were just playing both of them, right, to make that happen because it was such a strong play. But now without that there, we just see him a lot less. And I don't know. Something has to change. Maybe this is enough. Maybe the AoE space of his ult needs to be larger. Maybe it needs to happen faster. I don't know. Something. This is a good start. This is a good start. And as should be expected, a bunch of the duelists are getting some tweaks. Torch is going to be doing like a tiny bit less damage on his cluster damage. The supernova shockwave damage is reduced, and then the tornado damage for his ult is also a little bit reduced. The reason I didn't like make note of the actual amounts is because honestly, it's just kind of irrelevant. because he's getting a 5% damage boost as a team-up anchor. So like they took some away, but he's getting it back. We're going to be seeing a lot of Torch this season. It just flat out, we will. Iron Man, a little bit of damage reduction here for him. And then his ultimate cost, this is the big one I think for Iron Man here, his ultimate's going to cost more. It was pretty easy to like farm your ult as Iron Man. I haven't played a lot of matches as him, but that was something that I noticed right away. I was like, wow, I can get his ult a lot. So it's kind of good that they increase that cost. I think it'll be a good balance for him because he was something had to happen with him for sure from this last season going forward. So I'm glad that they made this change. Mr. Fantastic, I know a lot of people were worried about this one. He's got one of the most unique kits in the game, maybe the most unique kit. I don't know though, maybe not the most unique. It's different, but like Penny's got a really unique kit too, right? He's got a little bit of health bonus reduction here from 400 to 350 in his inflated state. This is okay. This is okay. He's still going to be very, very playable. I know a lot of people that play as him quite often and love the play style, love the uniqueness of the kit. And there was a concern when a nerf was brought up that it was going to be something that would make him unplayable, but rest easy. He's still going to be very playable. Namor as well. This is what I'm pretty excited about. I didn't play as Namor before because I could not stand how slow the projectile speed was. The velocity of the shots, I hated it. I hated it. I'll be honest with you. He was fine. It was great. You know, I've seen people perform super well with him. I hated it. I couldn't do it. But the 7C's projectile is going to be increased as well. So damage is going to be increased from 70 to 75. And then the increased speed is going to be 120 meters to 150 meters per second. This is good. It's not crazy, but it's good. I'm excited to try this one out. Scarlet Witch, there's been a lot of debate about this. I've been hearing people talk about this already. Damage increased from 750 to 850, which is good. It'll help you, nuke the tanks. There's nothing worse than like 10 actually getting to do Scarlet Witch's ult and then the tank survive and kill you. So it's good that they changed that. As far as the slow rate on the ult, I think that's a big one. You're not going to be as slow. So it's going to be easier for you to sneak up on people. It's going to be easier to manage the ult, and hopefully that means it'll be easier to actually get the ult to occur without being stunned or having it be blocked. So we'll see. But I think this is a good something. A good something. Is it enough? Maybe not. We'll find out. Spider-Man. Oh, here we go again. Here we go again. Kick damage increased to 55. Mid-air damage increased to 55. Combo damage increased to 60. He's going to do 15 more damage to you coming in. Plus, he's got the team up with Torch now. All I can say is ban him. This is just going to be another season of banning Spider-Man. That's fine. Okay, on to the final duelist now. There are 9 of them having changes. Punisher, projectile damage for the turret reduced from 12 to 10. Whatever. I guess do it. I guess do that. I don't know. Ultimate energy cost increased to 3,700. This is good. It's better that it takes him longer to get his ult because you could farm that up pretty quick. He's got the extended clip. He's doing more damage. He was just charging the ult too fast. I think that this is a good thing that they did this. We'll see how this plays out. But as far as like the turret goes, I don't know. I guess fine. Winter Soldier. He's doing a little bit more damage from distance. He had a damage fall off at 40 meters and beyond to 60%. Now that's only 70%. So it's only a 30% loss in damage. So he's going to do more damage, right? 10% more damage from distance. So this is okay. Nothing crazy. Wolverine, the Pharaoh Leap changed to 5 seconds, and the cooldown is increased from 12 to 15. This is a good thing. He's already going to be, he's already crazy, right? He's already just an insane hero to be really good at. I think it's good that they changed this, but with the team up that we have coming up here with Phoenix, where he's going to be inflicting burn damage, I just think that with that DOT coming in, it's probably good that he gets a little bit more of a cooldown on things because that affects his control effect. So this is good. Still extremely playable. Still going to be meta, I think. And now hopping into the strategists, 4 of them here. Invis, Loki, Mantis, and Ultron, getting some minor changes. I think most notably would be Loki, the ultimate cost increasing from 4,000 to 4,300. It's just going to take a little bit longer to get it, which is okay. Invis, she's getting some healing buffs, but slight damage reduction. None of this is really noteworthy. She's just going to be a little bit of a better healer, and that's okay. Mantis, healing flower, 2.5% healing per second, and then the ultimate cost is going to be increased. I don't know how I feel about the ultimate cost being increased. I don't really know that too many people are even really playing as Mantis with the purpose of being a healer. It's more of an off DPS role. So changing the ultimate, I guess it's fine. It's just a curious thing to do. If anything, I kind of thought maybe she's going to get a little bit of a damage boost, but no, she didn't. Ultron here. Acceleration time reduced from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. This is good. Take away a little bit of mobility from him. Firewall bonus health for himself is reduced to 65, and then for allies to 50. This is good. A little bit less survivability. He's going to feel a little bit less like a protector and feel a little bit more like a true off DPS sidelining strategist. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I was going to do a tier list expectations. This is what I put together. So true God tier heroes. I think what I did when I made this was I looked at this list and I said, who are we going to see a lot of? And that's going to be the God tier. This isn't necessarily based on potential, based on what they can do, based on how the kit's going to feel. This is based on how often I believe we are going to see these heroes played in our lobbies. Wolverine, Magneto, Strange, Torch, Hulk. Thing's going to come back, I think, for sure. Well, I think for sure. He's going to come back. Squirrel Girl, Punisher, Loki, Cloak, and Luna. These are going to be, in my opinion, the highest value priority picks that you can make for season 3 going into it. If you want to learn some new heroes right now, pick from this list. You can't go wrong. That's the thing about this. You can't go wrong picking one of these heroes right now. S tier, we're talking, a small change here, right? Penny, I think that we're going to see a little bit less Emma. I don't know, though. Could be wrong. I got Groot in there. I moved from the previous tier list that I did move Namor up. I think we're going to see him played more often. I think he's going to be a little bit more valuable because it's going to be easier to hit shots, Dealing more damage with him is always helpful, right? So struggling because of the projectile, like the low velocity from previously, I think was difficult. But now it's going to be easier to hit those shots. So I think we're going to see him played more often. Mr. Fantastic's still going to be great. Hela, Bucky. I put Jeff in S, and I put Rocket in there as well. Now, what I want to say about these final two here, like Jeff and Rocket specifically, something that I really did take into consideration for this tier list is how dive heavy I think that season 3 is about to feel, at least right off the bat. Right? I think we're going to see everyone's going to want to play Spider-Man. And because everyone's playing Spider-Man, I think we're going to see the alternates come out when he's banned. We're going to see more Black Panther, more Sonic, more Magic. We're going to see more people playing Venom now. I think we're going to see more Cap as well because he's great at like sustaining the dive situations, being a good dive distraction for other divers to come in because he can just rush the back line. Thing can do the same. Hulk can do the same. I think we're about to enter like a really strong dive meta, at least in the beginning. I think it'll start heavy out of excitement, and then I think it'll kind of back off a little bit. It'll subside. So I put Jeff in S because of what I'm expecting this new meta to feel like. Jeff can get away from the divers, which results in a higher uptime for him, which results in good healing. If you can't get away from the dive meta that we're likely going to see here in the beginning, you're going to have a really hard time healing. As a strategist, I think this is something that we really need to consider. I think this is why we're going to see more Luna because of the freeze and just the damage output as well. I think divers are a little bit scared of Luna. At least I would be, especially a good, accurate Luna. I think Cloak is going to be providing great sustain as long as, especially the two healers start healing each other when divers are coming in. That's a great way to combat a dive. Just heal each other. Rocket's going to be a little bit dependent on Penny, I think, for some value because your mobility with him, while it's good, it's also a little bit limited. And with Spider-Man, you can't just like go up the walls and get away from him like you can with other people like BP or Magic. Like you can just go up the wall and it's easier to escape like that. It's not guaranteed you're going to escape, but at least you have that option. But with Spider-Man, you're not going to be able to do that. Teaming up with Penny, having that remain, that's going to be really strong against anti-dive because you can play in the mines. So I think that that's going to be a really smart move for Rocket players is like, if you can't get the team up, maybe don't play Rocket, maybe swap. Jeff can get away super easily. I think that the top two up there are going to be really strong. And then Loki as well, obviously, is phenomenal against dive, pretty much immune to dive. Like truthfully, he's just a great pick for that if there's a very heavy dive situation going on. So I think it's just something that we have to keep in mind now. For the A tier, you could argue that Thor could be brought down, but Thor can function pretty well as far as like diving is concerned. And same as Cap, it's good for like just kind of rushing the back line and creating a little bit of sustain, a little bit of protection as well, because most of the divers, they go in and then they take off. So if you have a little bit of support from like a tankier hero on your team that's going in a little maybe before you, so that you can just kind of come in under the radar where they're already distracted, there's a really strong play to be made there, and I think that he'll be pretty good. I did drop Storm down. We'll see. I'm already kind of seeing a little bit less of her. That's not to say that won't change, but I just think keeping her an A for right now is good. She's phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. Like no matter where I put these heroes, it doesn't mean that they don't have any potential value. They all have potential value in the right team compositions, the right hands, the right map, the right, everything. It's so complex, right? To really be considering this and determine whether or not someone's viable, because truthfully, I don't feel like it's fair to say any hero is bad. They're all good in their own way. So when they're used in a way way that, caters to their kit, they have the right, support system around them, any hero can be valid. So just because I put, anyone wherever they might be, it doesn't mean don't play as them, right? Star-Lord being moved down here, fine. He's good in A. Iron Man as well. We're going to see a little bit less value from him, less damage, less frequent ult. This needed to happen though. It did. Doesn't mean he's not good, but it's good that we're seeing this change. Ultron's a little bit of a debatable one. Admittedly, I do kind of feel bad leaving him at A. He could maybe go to S. I think it just depends on the team comp. It depends on what you need. In a heavy dive meta situation, Ultron's going to be good. He's going to be very good. So arguably, let's say, okay, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe he can go up into A, but S, A, whatever. Play him. He's playable. Why not? Invis and Adam, they're good in A. I know that Invis is going to be getting a little bit more healing, and Adam can be pretty effective against dive, but if things are timed correctly, then he becomes very ineffective against dive, and in my opinion, Invis does not handle dive super well. So I think she's just going to get wrecked, especially in the beginning. Mantis, Moon Knight, Scarlet, solid in B, meh, Iron Fist, Scarlet, and Hawkeye. I mean, look, they're fine, but they're not doing that much. If you're not hitting your shots like that, I always have to have this conversation, like with myself when I make these tier lists. Is like, what does the overall value look like? If all you're doing is dealing damage, it's really hard for me to say like, let's bump you up. Some of them are up here like Hela. You could say like, well, Hela's only dealing damage. No, she's got some CC. She's going to get some new CC with a brand new team up as well that we're going to see with the symbiote. So she's doing a little bit more. She's got decent mobility, and she's pretty solid against countering dive. So I think that it's fair to put her up in S, but like the other two, I don't know. I don't really see the value there too much. When you can play another DPS hero that's doing other things at the same time, it's hard for me to place a lot of value on those two. With the exception to that being, you've got someone that's hyper accurate and extremely, extremely good, and they're going to hit headshots every time they shoot at a strategist. Like, okay. We're talking about one above all accuracy here. Fine, I guess. Hawkeye's phenomenal then. But for the day-to-day player, I don't think it's that great, personally. Dive being separated is good. It's its own thing. I don't want to tier them. With the rest of the heroes, it's really hard to say, Magic's better than Mr. Fantastic, or Magic's better than Bucky, or, Spider-Man's better than Namor. They're not the same. I know they fall in the same category. I know they're part of the hero pool. They're just different. I don't think that they even really need to be tiered. I've got Captain America in here. I've got Venom in here too. They're both vanguards, but the primary purpose of them is objective control and bullying the back line. So I keep them in the dive category because I think that's what we see them used as the most, aside from stalling. But I think that they're all great picks. They're all great picks. Maybe the least, if we wanted to say, I would maybe say Magic would be the least priority out of them. But it really just depends on how you like to play. I have a harder time with Black Panther and with Psylocke and Spider-Man, and even with Captain America and Venom than I ever do as a strategist with Magic. So just kind of how things play out for me and how I feel about it. Jean Grey is the only one that I do not have on that list. I think she's going to be God tier. I think this is pretty safe to say. More often than not, when new heroes are released, they are very strong, and then a little bit of an adjustment comes a little bit later. But just watching her kit, looking at how things play out with her, I think she's just going to be really strong. My recommendation always with new heroes is going to be, when they come out, when they release, hop in the practice range. Play around with them a little bit. Learn what their kit does. Learn what you're going to be up against. Learn if you want to even try to play as them. This is a really great way to make sure that in the event you're playing competitive and it sneaks through, she doesn't get the ban and somebody else on the enemy team picks her, at least you know what to expect. At least you're not going into that blind being like, I don't even know how this is going to feel or how to deal with this. Play around the practice range. Learn the kit. Just practice up a little bit. It'll be very helpful. So my plans now, honestly, they look a little different. As far as priority is concerned. I've kind of gone back and forth on what I want to do as we're leading into season 3, where it's coming up real soon. We got a week. I feel like I would be doing my team a disservice at this point by continuing to play Strategist. The reason I say that is because strategists are about to get bullied again. It's going to come back now. I am in a very unique position because I understand the strategist role so well, because it's pretty much the only thing that I've played. I'm in a really unique position now to swap 2 heroes that I'm going to be able to protect them with, because I understand how it feels. I know what it's going to be like, and I would rather at this point in time switch into the role that's going to make sure that we don't struggle, my team doesn't struggle with the strategist being constantly wiped off the map. So I'm going to be looking at Hulk, Thing, Wolverine. These are going to be my top 3 picks for who I'm going to practice with leading up to season 3 and who I intend to be playing with mostly. No exceptions here. This is like legitimately, this is what I am doing. My priority has changed, and I think with good reason. Obviously, we'll see how season 3 plays out, but whether or not the dive becomes a problem, at least as large of a problem as I am expecting it to be right now, I'm going to continue with this because I think this is going to be a really strong play for this season. And I need to learn the tank role anyway. Wolverine's not a tank, but Hulk and Thing, I need to learn these roles. I need to learn how to create space. There are, like, yes, DPS can be lacking sometimes, but I find it far more likely that tank play, space control, and objective control are truly what lack. I don't want to say that playing a strategist is easy because it's not, but I would say that maintaining objective control and creating and managing space is more difficult. And I want to take some time to learn that so I can understand that role a little bit better. I got a lot of work to do. I don't have a lot of time spent on the vanguards. This is going to be a learning curve for me, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a good personal challenge, and I think it'll help me to probably win some more games in season 3. So this is my plan. As always, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in for this video. I really appreciate you guys. If you have not subscribed yet, please take a moment to do so. If you have not joined the Discord, also take a moment to do that. I've got the link in the description as well as in the channel bio. It's just a really fun place to hang out. We're going to start doing some custom games here coming up soon, getting, 12 people on and just running scrims so people can practice and we can work on things. It's just going to be a really cool judgment-free zone to try as hard as you can with your main and then also spend time learning new heroes. So I think it's just going to be really, really cool. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Again, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers.